Hello, Pranam, Namaskar. How are you all? पंचतत्व गर्ल एक बार फिर से आपके साथ और आप सुन रहे हैं प्रगुण माय ग्रीन पॉडकास्ट। क्या बताएं, आज सुबह से ऐसी बारिश हो रही है कि रुकने का नाम ही नहीं ले रही। और बारिश के बहते पानी को देखते हुए बड़ा दुख भी होता है कि काश ये पानी जरूरत के समय काम आ सके या इस पानी को वहां पहुंचाया जा सके जहां सूखा पड़ा है या जहां पानी की जरूरत है। तब ख्याल आया रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के बारे में। नाम बहुत बड़ा लगता है लेकिन मुश्किल नहीं। आप सोचेंगे इसका कोई सेटअप लगाना पड़ता होगा या मुश्किल होती होगी इंस्टॉल करने में। नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं। तो आज के मेरे इको सफर में मैं आपसे मिलवा रही हूँ किसी शख्स को जो खुद रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग अपने घर में कर रही हैं और उसी के साथ काफी ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें कर रही हैं जिसे हम अपनी डेली लाइफ में इको एंड कॉन्शियस लिविंग के लिए ला सकते हैं। सो आज के मेरे इस इको सफर में मेरा साथ देने आ रही है सुहासिनी। Well, listeners, just to let you know, I've known Suhasini for almost 3 years now, and she has been consistently working wonderfully in parenting blog as well as mental health mentor. She is herself an IITian and has been into corporate world till her son was born. You can read more of her work on mommyshravmusings.com as well as shravmusings.com. Apart from being a mommy blogger, Suhasini has been practicing conscious and sustainable living in her daily life. So today, while interacting with her, I'll be covering the eco-friendly side of Suhasini on my Green podcast. So welcome Suhasini. Welcome to Green Podcast.
Hello Pragun, thanks for having me on your show. That introduction is too very good. I don't know whether I would really I'm not completely 100% sustainable as some other persons who are already doing it in Chennai, which we will talk later.
Right. See, it's not about 100%, even 1% counts, and you're doing pretty much things which you can do at your end, and I'm really happy to see that growth of yours.
Thank you.
It's really good to have you on my podcast. And जब मैंने बात की आज बारिश की, तो I know that हमने जितनी बार भी चैट की है, तुमने हमेशा जिक्र किया है अपने घर में रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग का. And I'm really curious and keen to know how you have been doing it and since when you are doing this rainwater harvesting at your home level.
Before 2015 floods happened in Chennai, I was also under the impression that rainwater harvesting requires a huge setup, lot of money investment from our end. So I was not that very keen in undertaking any of that exercise or the project to suit to my home needs.
Right.
But even before that, the Chennai ex-Chief Minister Ms. Jayalalitha has made a regulation saying all the apartments, all the houses that are getting built within Chennai should have the rainwater harvesting system in their house. Only then the corporation will give the further approvals for the further construction of the house.
Okay.
So when we got this house, the house where I am currently staying in Chennai, the rainwater harvesting system was already implemented at the complex level.
Wow.
All the water that goes through the car driveways and the car parks used to get sinked into our wells. But we never thought about the rain that is falling on our own terrace and getting wasted.
Right.
And in 2015, when there was so much of water, so much of floods everywhere, we expected that we will not have any water scarcity for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
But surprisingly, 2016 summer itself, we had a severe drought.
Right.
That is a time when we started thinking what we can do as an individual, having a small apartment in semi-independent house in an apartment complex.
Right. That too in a city like Chennai.
That too in a city.
Right.
Then that is the time when I started digging into the internet, asking Google how we can do, what we can do. I came upon one person by name Solar Suresh.
Wow. Okay.
He lives in Chennai, in the heart of the Chennai, that is in the real city suburbs. He has a huge forest in his house.
Okay.
It's an independent house, and he doesn't waste even a single drop of water that drops on his house.
Wow.
And he doesn't even waste the sunlight that comes into his house.
That's really nice to know.
His house is full off the grid for electricity, water, and drainage from Chennai Corporation.
Okay.
It's totally sustainable unit completely on its own.
Okay.
Even for the cooking gas, for that matter.
Okay. Okay.
So when we got to know about him, we called him up and we asked him what we can do. He gave us small sessions to capture the rain that falls on our terrace into the big black drums, water storing drums.
Okay, the big water drums, like the tanks, the syntax tank.
Syntax tanks.
Oh, okay,
syntax
nice.
Tanks. So what we did is in the terrace we have the water tank set up in a 3x3 area.
Okay.
There is a small platform where the water gets collected, but in that platform we do have the water tanks. Dig deep. So that entire 3x3 area, water, whatever it gets collected, we are directing that into the syntax tank.
Okay, fine.
Believe me, one day of rain in Chennai will save me more than 5,000 liters of water, which has fallen in the 3x3 square area itself.
That's nice. Okay.
So first we got 2,000 liters drum, thinking it will not go beyond that.
Okay.
But our guesswork has proved waste. I mean, it's totally childish guesswork. So now we have big, huge 10,000 wala syntax tanks, 2 tanks installed on our terrace. We store 20,000 liters of water every rainy season.
Wow. That's really a nice figure to know. Okay, great.
And believe me, the investment that happened for all this setup is just 5,000 rupees. 3,500 for the tanks and another 1,500 for the piping.
Okay, great. So listeners, if it's raining in your locality, all you have to invest is in syntax tanks and few things which are required to save and then use this rainwater for your purposes later on. That's really lovely to know. And जो अभी सुहासिनी ने जिक्र किया Solar Suresh का, if you want to read more of his work, you can check her site mommyshrammusings.com and you can read the complete post on Solar Suresh over there. So, well, listeners, as I told you that apart from being mommy blogger, Suhasini is also eco-friendly and conscious and aware in her daily life. जो आपको अभी example मैंने rainwater harvesting का दिया, which she has been doing since many years. She also has a side where I had seen her kitchen garden efforts. Again, this she is doing at her home level and she had been doing it since last many years. So Suhasini, tell us about how you started with your kitchen garden, what all you're growing there, and how this journey began about kitchen garden.
As I grew up in a very small town in Andhra, Tirupati, where we lived in quarters with huge expanse of land surrounding our houses.
Okay.
We are by nature, we are into gardening. And I used to help my mom and dad take care of the plants, pluck the flowers for puja and all that stuff.
Right.
But after we moved to college and when we started entering the corporate world, we never had a chance at the time to take care of the plants or to have a plant in my house. When we got this house, that is around in 2007, we decided to have a small flower garden which will cater to our puja needs, which will give some at least 5 or 10 flowers on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
So we had around 10 or 20 pots on our terrace with no protection from the weather. We used to just water the plants, pluck the flowers, offer them to the god and then move on.
Okay.
When I got my kid and when we started feeding the solids, that's the time when we thought of really expanding this garden because we had seen so much in news about the chemical treatment given to the vegetables, the leafy vegetables especially. And as a mom, you want to give your kid healthy food, right?
Absolutely right.
That's the time when we thought of growing vegetables in the house.
Okay.
And being a novice in gardening, vegetable gardening side, we
Okay.
started with the leafy vegetables.
Okay.
पालक हो या मेथी हो जो तुरंत उबालता है, and then
Right.
we can have it for we can consume it within 1 week, right?
बिल्कुल fresh green pluck करके, right?
Hmm.
Okay, that's nice. Okay.
So that is how we started. Slowly, then I moved to tomatoes, okra,
Okay.
then baingan, all the things which doesn't require much care from us.
Mm-hmm.
Once when I started seeing success in these plants, we started moving to gourds, like ridge gourd, then snake gourd, bottle gourd, all types of gourds now I'm growing in my terrace.
Okay.
Same thing happened with root vegetables like potato, carrot, beetroot, everything. One vegetable you can say that I didn't try out in Chennai is cabbage, because
Acha.
I'm scared of the cabbage worms. I don't really like to see those cabbage worms.
Okay.
I even tried cauliflower and I got 2 cauliflowers last year.
That's beautiful. Okay.
So, and then we do have different types of cherry tomatoes, different types of brinjals. I have after I started my kitchen gardening only, I knew that there are 18 varieties of okras available in local native Indian continent.
Hindi ke 18 varieties. Wow, this even I was not aware. And Suhasini, when you were telling me the cherry tomatoes and okra, I can visualize the fresh vegetables in the terrace garden, which I can pluck. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay. Okay.
So now slowly we also moved to growing some fruit trees. We have papaya, then anar, then guava, and then table lemon.
Wow, the pomegranate, papaya and lemon. It's a salad ka platter pura taiyar ho sakta hai.
Exactly. And they're so juicy and sweet that you just don't feel like eating from outside once you start tasting the fruits, especially that have grown in the
Now I'm craving for a plate full of salad with a lemonade. So Suhasini ke paas jab bhi main visit karne wali, so I'm going to have those fresh fruits along with the lemon water. Wow, this is really nice. Okay. So listeners, इतनी मस्त colorful salad plate की हमने बात की, and it is really nice to know how she has been growing these plants and now fruits, vegetables on her own terrace garden. So the kids and the family members are being fed the organic, natural, fresh vegetables and fruits. So Suhasini, जब plants की बात कर रही हैं, तो this reminds me that once you had referred that you make your own manure water, which is very simple as compared to making compost. जो मुझे याद आया. So I would like that you should tell our listeners how to make that manure water and how we can go about it.
Generally, composting is a long drawn process and it involves a lot of activities. उसको mix करो, browns डालो, ratios, all those things you need to keep in mind.
इसीलिए compost से थोड़े बहुत especially city के लोग थोड़ा सा हिचकते हैं, डरते हैं करने से.
Exactly. And when anything goes bad, it starts smelling awful, and especially if you're living in an apartment complex, your neighbors will start complaining.
Bilkul, you're right.
So I stopped doing composting altogether. Now what I've decided is, I've done some research, I've seen some YouTube videos, and I follow some garden experts or gurus, whomever you like to call. And I got to know about one Chauhan Q method. It is a Chinese method which is more or less similar to organic gardening, which in our India people start advocating. So I'm mixing both of them together to make menus for my kitchen. For my garden from the kitchen. So my principle is whatever comes from the garden gets into kitchen. Beyond our consumption, whatever is left over again goes back into the garden in the form of manure.
Lovely. Okay.
So for example, all the vegetable peels, all the fruit peels, when we just normally discard them into the dustbin and then the dustbin goes into the landfill, right? Instead of that, what I do is I use one blender jar, make them small pieces, put them into the rice washed water or dal washed water.
Okay. So you are again utilizing the water also, which we use for washing the vegetables, dal and rice. Okay, great. Okay, and you're putting the small pieces.
Small pieces because that's when it gets easily composted.
Absolutely.
If it's a big piece, it takes a lot of time.
Right.
And then kitchen counter पे एक कोने पे घुसा दो उसको 3 दिन 4 दिन After adding little bit of jaggery, once the jar is filled, it will become an excellent manure, and there will be a small mold that gets formed on top of that bottle.
Okay, acha, okay. So the point to notice is that first of all, it is easy to make. You can just keep it in the corner of your kitchen slab. You don't have to take huge pots or anything. You have to cut pieces of whatever the peels or fruits and vegetables you have. You just have to fill them in a pitcher or a jar. And you have to put little jaggery. And why are you adding jaggery? Just to, so it should not smell?
Increases the composting process easily.
Great. Oh yes. Okay. It increases the composting process. And what she told me is that the layer thing which will be formed, I think it is the sign that the thing is done. Is
ready.
It? Right.
It's ready.
Okay. This really sounds simple. Okay.
So take this bottle, just empty it into a bucket of water. 1:10 or 1:5 ratio में जितना आपके plants, whatever the size of your plants,
अच्छा,
you dilute it and then water the plants.
It's really nice. Okay. अच्छा, फिर आप you just have to take one part and mix it with 3 or 4 parts of water, and you can water your plants with this thing. Nice. I really love this idea of manure water. Okay, and since how long you have been doing it? Means as you said,
almost 2 years.
Wow.
Last 2 years. And in fact, I don't even waste the flowers which I use for puja.
Right.
Ganesh Chaturthi ke time pe, Lakshmi Puja ke time pe, we use so many flowers, right?
बहुत ज़्यादा. It pains to throw them. Okay, now you have given me a great way that I can put these flowers also into that picture. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That's really good to know about the manure fort. So listeners, now I hope you are aware what is a Chauhan Q method, which is related to natural farming and organic gardening. And I'm really happy to know, Suhasini, that तुम्हारी ये side तो मुझे अब तक पता ही नहीं थी. Rainwater harvesting तक सुना था, but having this manure water is really a nice thing. And I'm sure ये city में रहने वाले लोग, ये छोटे apartment में रहने वाले लोगों के लिए बहुत ही simple method है, rather than अगर आप composting नहीं कर पा रही हैं तो go for this Chauhan Q method and making your own manure water. So हम अपनी इस बातचीत के सफर को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. So now you people are aware of rainwater harvesting. Even Suhasini की kitchen garden की side भी हमने देखी, and we also learnt about the manure water. तो अभी मैं थोड़ा सा लेकर आऊंगी तुम्हारी parenting side पर. तो मुझे ये बताओ कि जब हम इको फ्रेंडली होने की बात करते हैं या हम ऑर्गेनिक या नेचुरल चीजों की बात करते हैं, what is your take as a mommy or a parent blogger? How or what are the ways, or how can we implement, teach or make our kids aware of all these things at this age? Because ये चीजें अगर अभी नहीं सिखाई गई तो आगे जाके हैबिट पे कभी नहीं आ पाए. So as a mommy blogger, tell me what's your take on this?
Very well said, Pragun. Most of these things have to be habituated or inculcated into the kids right at a tender age.
Right.
Once when they move out of the house, they will never learn about the importance of the environment or importance about the sustainable living.
Right.
And believe me, you don't have to really teach them. Kids are the best observers. They tag along with you in all the activities. As long as you're not making them involved in your activities, you have to teach them.
Right.
But in my case, I involve my kid in each and every activity I do. So he always comes along with me. That is one more reason for me not to do composting, because he gets repelled by the smell. Okay. But whereas this organic manure water, there will be no smell. Even if we do the flower composting, the maximum smell which we get is a sweet smell. Okay. And there will not be any itching on the kids' hands or kids' skin. It's very much suitable to their skin also.
These are really good points. मतलब हाँ, just बच्चों को पढ़ाना is a separate thing. मतलब just by saying it by mouth, but I can see that when you are saying these small points, so you have observed and implemented. Nice to know that बच्चों को हम ये चीजें करने से मतलब there is no harm also at the back end.
True. So when I water, my kid doesn't like to water with the hose pipe for the plants.
Okay.
Hose pipe matlab it's playing in the water. 2 of us will have to take 2 hose pipes and splash with each other. But mug से पानी डालने में मजा आता है उसको. So now whenever I'm putting this organic manure water to plants, I call him. So when he asks, hey, what is this swimming in the water bucket and all that stuff, he'll start asking, right? So I keep telling him, That is how I inculcate the concepts of sustainable living, concepts of recycling, everything to him.
Wow, nice. That's really good to know. And being a mommy blogger, तुमने बहुत अच्छी टिप दी कि of course हम kids को अपनी छोटी छोटी एक्टिविटीज में कैसे ला सकते हैं. Well said. हाँ, पाइप से वाटर भी ज्यादा वेस्ट होता है. It's good कि वो होस पाइप को यूज नहीं करता है. I'm happy to. So well, listeners, जब हम इनके किड की बात कर रहे हैं, तो let me tell you, her son Shravan is a cricket enthusiast. Well, I think enthusiast छोटा word होगा. He is totally passionate for cricket. He eats, drinks, and lives on cricket. और यही नहीं, he has even made her mom, यानी कि सुहासिनी को complete cricket aware and complete cricket fan. That too at the age of 9 years. And I think Suhasini, ये कब से? Since last 1 year, since the age of 8, he's
Exactly.
Developed interest for cricket. So guys, सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, he even is trying to give cricket की commentary try करता है. He's so enthusiastic कि वो सिखाना भी पसंद करता है. So he loves cricket like anything. And this is a very good combo of Suhasini and Shravan. And of course, their blogs too, like Mommy Shram Musings and Shram Musics, where Suhasini is imparting her parenting journey, and he too is joining her with his ideas, his YouTube, his words, and his activities. मुझे अच्छे से याद है कि अभी कुछ दिन पहले her son had gone to market with that mini loudspeaker, and he was trying to make people aware कि mask पहनना क्यों जरूरी है. तो I really loved the confidence of this boy. So whole credit to you, Suhasini. So इसी के साथ मैं एक चीज और बताना चाहूंगी कि Suhasini is also conducting storytelling workshops for kids, where she gives emotional intelligence training. She's trying to share her knowledge to kids as well as parents for bringing up emotionally healthy kids. So Suhani, just a few words about this workshop or the thing that you are doing.
Thank you, Pragun. I always believe that it really takes a village to raise a child. Right. I mean, just not a child, emotionally healthy and mentally strong child.
Right.
Now we moved away from that village, and we don't have that village around us. Mm-hmm. But just because we don't have that village shouldn't stop us to give a emotionally balanced childhood for our kids. So how do we do that? We need to build that support structure around us.
Right.
And I'm trying my level best to do that by talking to kids. विलेज में उस टाइम पे नाना नानी होते हैं, दादा दादी होते हैं, जो कहानियों के रूप में they impart life lessons to the kids.
Right.
And nowadays kids are not getting chance to listen to stories from elders in the family.
Right.
All they are getting is to watch the stories on the YouTube. And with unnecessary, ads about that keep coming in between, which are not as per their age limits.
Right.
And they are becoming privy to more unnecessary information.
Right.
So my storytelling sessions explore the science and logic behind each and every festival, each and every ritual that we follow in India. Lovely. With a life lesson.
Lovely.
Like Hali mein, we did it for Dasara. I told why we need to kill Ravana. Ravana is such a knowledgeable person.
Right.
He's a scholar. And Vaimanik Shastra ka adya mante hain usko. Like he's the first and person who built 150 aeroplanes.
Right.
But still he was killed. Why? When you dig into that reason, when you give those reasons to kids, now the kids know what are the qualities that they need to stay away from. What are the emotions that needs to be controlled, isn't it?
Right.
So that is how I conduct all my sessions. And there will be some one-on-one sessions, counseling sessions for the parents as well as for the kids, depending on their needs. So for most of these things, you can find it in my details. You can find it on my website. Right. At any point of time.
Yeah, as Suhasini said, you can read more of her work and a lot of information about her workshops and her living lifestyle on mommyshrammusings.com as well as for another site, shrammusings.com. So for any other info related to all these things, you can check her website. And it's really nice to know that being a mommy blogger, you are not just influencing the things, but you are actually doing it, which I can see in your kid also. Whenever he is speaking or whenever he is imparting something, I can see that how you have grown with him also and he as a child also. So it was a lovely journey, and so wasn't it really nice to know, especially the manure water thing, which I'm sure going to start from now onwards. And people who are having lots of rains in your area, so it's not that a big deal. Try and build a small tank or whatever it's possible for you, but try to do your bit for say rainwater harvesting, because बारिश कभी होती है कभी नहीं होती है, but all we can do is try and save that water and utilize it again. And as we discussed about the gardening thing also, कि मुझे पता है बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि हम अपार्टमेंट में रहते नहीं हो पाता है, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. It's all about your interest, your efforts, that you can try and do it in even small pots, a glass bottle, or anything which you can find. So Suhasini, it was really nice talking to you and knowing your green side, I would say, because since you are on my green podcast, so it was really lovely knowing your green side. And my best wishes to Shavant also. And that's all for today, listeners. Panchtatwa Girl will be back with more kisse kahani and conversations and खूब सारी green वाली बातचीत. तब तक हंसते रहिए, मुस्कुराते रहिए और सुनते रहिए. Thank you. धन्यवाद. Namaskar.